Right, now before we get into this one, I've received another couple of stickers. I've received one from America from Robert over at Hodgepodge Woodworks, and I've received one from Leona Fay at Leona Fay Wood Turning. It's my first Irish one, so thanks very much, guys. I will of course put links to their channels in the description below. Now let's get on with this video. Right, in today's video we're going to do my version of a ring holder. I did one of these for my wife ages ago and she loves it. This is just basically my opinion again. Right, when people do ring holders, they normally do a base. They have a domed base with things sticking up out for rings on. The thing is, an awful lot of people who wear rings also wear a small chain, and they've nowhere to put it. So my version of a ring holder allows for somewhere to put a chain. Right, it doesn't hang it up or anything. It's somewhere to put it, so it's neat and you always know where it is. Right, so in here we have a piece of acacia that's 5.5 inches by about 3. Right, it's held in a faceplate because when I hollow it out, I want a raised piece in the middle. I want like a spigot in the middle of it. Right, and if I hold it in the faceplate, the piece where the spigot goes isn't interfered with. If I wasn't doing it, I'd have it on a worm screw. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is round it off. This could be a fun one because this wood is really hard. I just sharpened this gouge before I started and it needs to be sharpened again. So this one's going to be interesting. What I want to do is mark a mortise in it. And cut the mortise. Angle too low. Now I'm going to shape the outside of the bowl part. Slight foot on this. Right, now we'll continue that. Yeah, the shape's good. Okay, let's continue to shape out. Now that's going to be about the depth of the bowl part here. This piece up here is mostly going to get taken away for when I'm putting the spigot on. Okay. Now I'm going to sand and finish that part. As I said, I'm not worried about up here, just here, just the part for the bowl. There is something up with my. After this, I will be stripping the lid down and giving it a full service like I did in the video. Even though I only did it 2 weeks ago, for some reason it's really sticky today. So I'll give it a full service. Right. Okay. Now we'll sand and finish this end of it, and I'll be back then. Okay, right. After your sanding, because of what this is and where it's going, couple of pretties in the bottom of the recess. Okay. Right, now I always do those kind of accent lines after I do the main sanding, because if you don't, you can stand a chance of losing the crispness of them. Well, again, that's just my opinion on it. Right. Now I'll hit those with a little bit of sandpaper, just for a second, so that I don't lose the sharpness of them. As I said, this is just my opinion on it. I think that if you do your main sanding after you do accent lines like this, that as I said, you lose the sharpness of them. Right. Now we'll go through the finish routine on it of cleaning it with mats, Yorkshire grip, hamster chain, the usual. Right, and I'll be back then. And we're back. Let's have this finish. Just buffing it off now. Right. Now, I'm not too worried about up here. There's a little bit of tear out there. I'm not worried about it, because I'll be cutting this off about there. Right. Once below that line is perfect. That's all I'm worried about. Right, and it is. Now I'm going to take it off and we'll flip it around. A little removal tool is so handy at times. Right. And there's the accent rings on the bottom. Right. So because of where it's going to go, pretty counts. Right, now the first thing I want to do is to find the height of this bowl. Right. And the easiest way of doing that is with a parting tool. Now remember, I want to get rid of the unfinished stuff that's here. Right. So I'm going to cut in a bit, pare it down, cut in a bit, pare it down. What I'm aiming for is the ring stand in the middle. So I'm just hogging away wood. Right, now, even though that's too wide for a ring stand, right, I'm going to be making it a bit fancy, but I want to hollow this out first. Right, so I need to get that out of the way. Right, and I'll move the camera. Okay, when you get here, little height, what you want to do is continue that spigot down in there. Right, so cut your way down a little. Right, go out here, define your width. Right, now you just want to hollow it like a bowl, but remember that spigot's in the middle. Do not, if you can, don't break it out. Now I have done that a couple of times because of the orientation of the grain. They're actually quite brittle. Negative brake, scrape that to get rid of tool marks. Now, what you're looking for here is you're not looking for it completely flat across there. You want it coming almost like a slope down and a slope back up, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep the chain that's put in here away from the rings. Right? So you kind of need to go in there a little bit. Now you can do that with a gouge if you want. I just find it, I have the negative brake scraper in my hand, so I can use it. Right. Now I want to sort out the edge, the rim here. Just so it kind of tilts down in a little bit, same way I do the balls. And now it's just a case of stop, check it, a little bit of tear out just there, so I'll negative brake scrape that again, get rid of the tear out just there in the corner. Look, yeah, I'll get rid of that. Now I'm going back to this, right? So I'll be bringing my tailstock back in for support. Now I just kind of want to make that a little bit fancy, if you would. Now you can do these any way you want, just don't leave it as plain sticking up near. It's not going to look right. just remember the grain, because this is in bowl orientation, that grain is running wrong for a spindle. Okay. So it's quite delicate. You also have to watch your size, because remember, not everybody has big fingers. Now, this is where it gets dodgy, because you're about to take away the support because you have to finish the top. Okay, sorry, I have to go back the camera there, sorry. Now I have to take away the support to finish that part. So, as I said, this is where it can get dodgy. So, very, very, very gentle cuts and a very sharp gouge. So, I'm going to go and sharpen this. Now, I've blown a couple of them here. You just really have to remember the orientation on this is wrong. And once you get that part, you can breathe again. Then it's just a case of sand and finish. And I'll be back at the end of that. Right, and we're back. Just buffing it off. Right. And we're taking care with that centerpiece not to put much leverage on it, because as I said, the orientation in it is wrong. You have cross grain going across it, which makes it weak. Right. And there is my version of a ring thing. Now I can't claim this design at all. I think it's stuck in my head from when I was a kid. Mum had one in China of this design on her bedside table, and she used it every night. Said it's just a bit of a different version that you could try. So rings there and a little chain around there, and the chains can go in there, or anything really can go in there. As I said, it's a different version of it, something you might like to try. So I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you in the next one.